Hi friends. First of all, thank you for watching our videos. We really appreciate that. We love it when you hit the like sign, when you subscribe, when you share, and when you leave comments, because it gives us a chance to be a part of your family and you be a part of ours on the journey, and we get to comment back to you. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. We're getting ready to leave Ensenada. By the time you watch this, we'll have already left Ensenada. We'll have traveled through Guerrero Negro, through Loreto, through La Paz. We'll be in La Paz by the time you watch this. And then we'll be going to Todos Santos and back to Ensenada. But we wanted to do something a little bit different. We wanted to do a retrospect, a look back, if you will, to last year. Last year was 2022, and that was our first year of traveling. And we started out, and what we're going to do is we're going to go through each of the places we've been to and kind of give. We have different opinions, different takes on those, and maybe this will help you if you're thinking about traveling to those areas, or it'll tell you how weird we are. I don't know. We'll see. All right, we started out in Virginia Beach. We sold our home, and we're going to do an episode a little bit later telling you our story. But in this one, we left Virginia Beach, Virginia. Everything was put into storage for later, for like a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo. The only thing that was packed in that Subaru is what we'd need for the year. And that was, really just a week worth of cold weather clothes and a week worth of warm weather clothes. And we figured we'd wash as we went along and wash our clothes, wash us too. And we had our medicines for the year. We had, stuff for Jenny, our toy poodle, our best friend, and our traveling companion. And so where did we left Virginia Beach, where did we go?
We still took too much.
Yeah, we still took too much. And we'll talk about that in an upcoming video about where we went in 2023, because we really downsized and we've got a lot more controllable now for traveling in a Subaru Forester. So we left Virginia Beach, and then we drove out to Galax, Virginia, and stayed with the Cowleys, our dear friends there, a couple of days. We used to live in Galax. We lived there for 5 years, or right about 5 years, and we liked the area there. Your thoughts?
It was good seeing James and Sherry. It rained a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it was January, so, or no, it was 1st of February in 2022, and so the weather was not fun, but anyway. And we left Galax, and I like Galax because I like hiking, and there are plenty of hiking trails and hiking mountains, just no hiking dogs there. And we left Galax, and then we went to, I think, outside of Nashville, Springfield, Tennessee, and stayed with our friends there, Martin and Edwina Morgan. And that was just a one-night stay, so we weren't there long enough to really give an opinion about the area. We left there, and I think we were headed towards Texas, but we spent the night in, was it Texarkana? And that was just a hotel, a quick stay in Texarkana. And from there we stopped in Dallas.
Outside of Dallas, and saw my uncle, great uncle.
All right, so stopped outside of Dallas, and that was just a quick couple of hours visit.
I believe it was Nevada, Texas.
Okay.
That's where they lived.
And then from there, we drove on out to Cristobal, Texas, and saw our dear friends Jerry and Frida Kay. Jerry, he and I go back, I guess, about 25 years, and he is a rancher. Him and his wife are ranchers there, and they raise goats and sheep. And they've slowed down a lot. They're in their late 70s and have slowed down. They're not doing as much. Before, they were raising like thousands and had thousands of acres. They owned land and then also leased land from the state. But they've slowed down some. We were only planning on staying there for one night. We got up the next morning and we had our luggage packed. Everything was ready. We figured we'd eat breakfast and we'd go. And then Jerry said, where do you think you're going? And we're like, I don't know. What do you mean? Mexico is where we're headed. You're not going to Mexico today. We might let you go tomorrow. And so they made us stay an extra day, which was fun. And they cooked some beef brisket out there on the smoker. That was really fun. That was good.
We met their daughter.
Met their daughter and met a realtor friend of theirs that's now a friend of ours. And so that was a fun trip. And we left Cristobal, and that's where we were crossing the border into Mexico. Leaving Cristobal, going down to Piedras Negras, which is the Mexican side of Eagle Pass, Texas. And we crossed there, really not hard. The hard part for us was once we got on the other side, trying to find the location for our TIP, our temporary import permit, and also getting our FMM stamped and filled out.
And then that put us in the dark.
That put us in the dark because we'd spent a couple of hours trying to locate that. It's not right there at the border crossing. I think it was like 20 miles away or something, and kind of hard to find.
And it was dark.
And it was getting dark, and we stopped, and you know, we only have a little bit of Spanish. We're working on that, trying to learn. And we stopped and talked. I stopped and tried to talk with some folks, and they helped. And you know, my broken Spanish, their broken English, and it worked. Great, wonderful, kind people. And we got that taken care of.
And then it was trying to find a place to stay.
We came back up, didn't we? To
with a dog.
we came back up to Eagle Pass. I mean, to Piedras Negras.
Yes.
And trying to find a hotel that would allow us with Jenny. And
one really didn't, but they let us.
yeah.
Yeah, they were kind. It was really late.
Yeah, it was getting late. It was like 10, 11 o'clock. And the guy at the front desk, you know, I think he bent the rule. We're not going to tell what place it was because we don't want to get anybody in trouble. But he bent the rule, and you know, we said, you know, he saw her 6-pound dog, you know, 3 kilogram Pedro,
Doesn't shed.
doesn't shed, and anyway, he allowed us to stay.
Yeah.
So we left Eagle Pass, or left Piedras Negras, and started the drive. Towards Torreon, and that was an Airbnb, just one night.
Overnight.
Yeah, just in and out right quick. So really didn't get the chance to check the place out or anything. And then drove from Torreon to Mazatlan. There again, only there for a day. So not a chance to check Mazatlan out. And
that's why we need to go back and check out.
we need to go back there because we hear from a lot of people that Mazatlan is a neat place to be, and a lot of things to see there. And we drove from there on to, at that time it was Nueva Vallarta. Now it's called Nueva Nayarit. And that was quite a drive. I remember it was like up in the mountains and around curves and going through little villages and all. And
wasn't as bad as going to Guadalajara though.
Oh, we'll get to that one in a minute. That's worth waiting for to hear that one. So we were there in Nueva Vallarta for, was it 3 months?
3 months.
3 months. Loved it. We were actually not in the touristy area towards the water, but across, was it Highway 220 or?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
It was, we were in the Valley Dorado section.
It was across the major highway from Nueva Vallarta, and there's a more of a community there called Valley Dorado. They've got a lot of condos, condo complexes by the name of Rincon, Rincon. Rincon del Cielo was the one we stayed in, but there were, I don't know, there's maybe like 7 or 8 other ones around, and they'd have maybe...
They're color-coded.
Yeah, they're color-coded. The gate, the walls, color-coded, so it's easy to know which one to go in. You go past, you might be going in the guard shack that's kind of a yellow color or a blue color or green color, whatever helps you get in. And we liked it there.
Yeah, they had a pool.
Had a swimming pool.
Nice pool.
And, you know, you can look back at our videos from that time while we're there, you know, not the best.
Airbnb.
Yeah, the condo was real dated, and the folks next door were from Canada, and theirs was completely renovated, completely in excellent shape, beautiful shape. Ours, that had not happened for yet. And, yeah. But anyway, the pool was nice, and the neighborhood was nice, and we got to meet some kind folks there.
And it was behind a Walmart.
Yeah. So,
So Walmart was right nearby, and then there was a Chedraui was there in Valley Dorado, which was walkable too, which was nice, and all the little restaurants through there.
oh yeah, the
Gosh,
pizza place.
some of the best food. The Italian place.
Oh my goodness, the Italian place
And
was.
he was from Italy, so oh my goodness, it was so good. But you had to have a reservation.
Oh yeah, you wouldn't be able to get a seat if you didn't have a reservation. They sat maybe, I don't know, maybe like 20 people inside, and maybe about 20 people outside. Him and his wife from Italy, and they had sold their home and sold everything over in Italy and retired to Mexico and opened this restaurant up. And excellent food. They're good friends of ours now on Facebook, and you can watch videos of that time and eating there at the Italian restaurant, and also at some of the little food stands, some of the little restaurants there. Go back and watch those videos of when we were in Nueva Vallarta. You'll like those. Puerto Vallarta, we got to go there a bunch of times while we were living there. That was nice. Costco is there. Yeah, Costco always,
Marina.
The Marina District, the Malecon. Puerto Vallarta is magical. It is a really, really pretty area. The next time we go, we need
Busy.
to.
Busy
Oh
area.
yeah, busy.
Yeah, airport.
It can be a lot of traffic around the airport area.
Yeah.
And but the next time we go, we need to spend some time, living time in Puerto Vallarta. From there, all right, we're needing to get the car serviced, so we head towards Guadalajara, and that was maybe a couple hours drive, 3 or 4 hours drive. But what was interesting about it is we paid attention to the GPS. The GPS, I'm sure there is a much better way to go to Guadalajara from Puerto Vallarta. We didn't take that way. We went the way that the GPS said go, and there's a video for that one. You need to go back and watch that one, because we ended up on this
Donkey trail.
on a donkey trail. I mean, we're going up a mountain, down the other side of the mountain through some little villages,
Across riverbeds.
crossing riverbeds. I mean, stream
No
beds.
water. No water
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, stream beds. The donkey walking along the fence, looking at us like, "You're really out of place. What are you doing here?"
Or going through the little towns and they're looking at us like, where did they come from?
South Dakota. What is that? Yeah, license plates.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got to Guadalajara, big city, a huge city, and very modern. I want to go back to Guadalajara. I want to go back there and spend at least a month. And a lot of cultural things to see there, beautiful buildings. We were in the Italian district, and go back and look at the video there. That home that we stayed in, an Airbnb, was fabulous. It was really gorgeous. The young lady that owned that Airbnb did a wonderful job of renovating it and making that look so cool. And had a garage to it as well, and a lot of steps, but awesome place. Got the car serviced, went to an awesome mall. There's a video of that. You need to see that. That mall, that was like one of the biggest malls I think we've ever been to.
One of the nicest.
Yeah. So we were only in Guadalajara for 3 days, I think, like a long weekend.
Yeah.
Got the car serviced. They were so kind there, got us in and out pretty quick so that we could hit the road, because we were driving from there headed towards San Miguel de Allende. And did we drive that in one stretch?
I think so.
I think so. I think that's why the guy was getting us out as quick as he could so that we could get on the road. And so we drove to San Miguel de Allende, and I'm gonna let you tell a little bit about, because we were there for 3 months.
It was really nice. It's a beautiful city. Good people. Lots of places to eat. Lots of shops. Just really nice. Except driving in the town.
Yeah, cobblestone.
Cobblestone, very narrow. I used to drive a Mini Cooper, so the Subaru feels like a tank, and so too much. So most of the time we would walk into town, and then it was uphill to go back to where we were staying, so we'd get a taxi and do that. and
Well, that's only if we had like groceries or something with us.
yeah,
If we didn't have anything to haul around, then we just walked back.
yeah, we just took our
We
time.
lost weight there.
Yeah,
We've gained weight in 2023, but 2022 we lost weight in San Miguel.
yeah, and then I broke my ankle there, so that put me down for what, 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah. Great
So,
medical care.
Yeah,
Dr.
excellent.
Morano,
Oh, he was wonderful, and the Mac Hospital was awesome. Very super nice, modern hospital.
very, very inexpensive,
Yeah.
quality care. Go back. We've got videos on that. In fact, we've got a ton of videos on San Miguel, and you can take a look at the condo that we were staying in there. That
It was gorgeous views.
Yeah.
It was nice. Andrew got to come there, and he got to see Mexico, and
That's our grandson.
yeah, he's turned 14 while he was there. So we went to a nice little restaurant downtown and celebrated his birthday. So it was fun having him there and letting him experience the beautiful country of Mexico and the lovely people that are there.
And what was we did some cool videos. Andrew and I did. You got to go back and watch some of those. We did some like trying interesting meats. One trying the hot foods that we could eat and see how we did on those. If it was too spicy for us, we did some fun videos. You need to go back and look at those.
The funniest thing with Andrew was when he first came in, and we weren't sure about going to the airport to pick him up. So we met this really nice driver there, Eric.
Well, because there's not an airport in San Miguel.
No,
You got to fly into Querétaro or
Leon.
Leon, and so both of those about I think like an hour to an hour and a half away.
And so we weren't sure about going into the airport and getting mixed up with the language and not being able to pick him up at the right place. So one of Eric's drivers took Gene to get him, and on his way back, they came and picked me up because I was in a boot. And
Because of where she'd fallen
yeah,
and it was recuperating.
and
Orthotic boot.
and we took him out to eat. It was a nice little place, the bistro.
Oh, the bistro.
Santo Domingo. Jill's is the owner, and he was excellent, and all the servers were excellent.
He's
But-
actually a Canadian fella.
Yes.
Him and his wife from Canada.
And what was really funny was when you open the menu, of course, everything's in pesos. And so Andrew sees, and he goes, oh, and it's like, it's in pesos. That's not American
he
dollars.
sees like, because this is dinner time, and Andrew sees that, and he sees like, 500, or 600, besides something.
For steaks, and we're like, you don't need to get a steak.
Yeah. Get a hamburger, boy. Come on.
Yeah. So
So-
that was funny.
And we love San Miguel. That is, when we talk about places that we want to go back and live like for a year, San Miguel de Allende is at the top of that list. Wait a minute. If I tell you this, you might be looking for somewhere to move to, and by you moving there, Airbnb costs, rent costs are going to go. You don't want to go to San Miguel. Not a pretty city. Not a nice city. Don't go to San Miguel. But we are. We're going back. So we left there, and we hadn't planned on leaving so early, but Andrew was there with us, and we thought, why, fly him back? Because first of all, we'd be flying him from an international airport back to Norfolk, Virginia, and he'd have to change planes somewhere, and we weren't.
Customs.
Yeah, going through customs, we just weren't sure how that was going to work out for him, and so we decided that we're just going to leave Mexico early, and we're going to take the boy back to Virginia. So we did. We left, and that was the 1st of August, because we had planned on staying in Mexico last year until November. So we left the 1st of August
Getting
driving
back for school.
to get him back for school, because
And-
1st of September.
And it got him to see more of Mexico and the U.S., where a lot of places I hadn't seen or you hadn't seen and he hadn't seen. So
Yeah.
it was a win-win.
Yeah. And so we started driving. Now, one thing, we had to get rid of some stuff because remember,
Yeah.
the car was packed down before? Well,
We
when the
had
car
no
was packed
extra
down
seat.
before, there was no Andrew in the car, just the dog in your lap. And so we had to clear a space to be able to fold one of the seats up to have the boy in there. And so we gave some stuff away and cleared up enough room for Andrew to be sandwiched into the back seat with, Rubbermaid containers up beside him like a wall, but anyway. So we started out driving and we went to St. Louis Potosi first and spent a couple of days there. Andrew got sick about this point, and we took him to a pharmacy, to the doctor beside the pharmacy, and get him all checked out because we were kind of afraid that maybe he's got COVID or something. And turns out it wasn't that. What do you say?
Strep.
Okay, and so gave us a bunch of medicines to treat him with, and he was 24 hours. He's a kid. He bounced right back. He was fine. St. Louis Potosi is a neat city. I took some videos there. Go back and look at those. Some really nice restaurants, some great ice cream places.
That was right near where we stayed.
Yeah, this is where the weight is starting to add back up again.
And that's where Andrew got excited when he saw KFC.
Oh yeah, and Jenny went to her first KFC. From St. Louis Potosi, we were only there I think for 3 days, and then we were going to Monterey. Well, evidently,
Monterey is huge city.
a lot of traffic.
Goodness.
Very modern for a very modern city.
When I say big city, I'm saying like more traffic than Atlanta.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot more traffic.
But and I say modern city, you're going by huge buildings with digital billboards on the outside of them, big, cineplexes and things. Big city, a lot of traffic. But at this point now, Renee and I are sick.
You were sick first.
Okay, I thought you were sick first.
No, you got sick first.
She's always right. So she was sick. I was sick first, and we were. Like Andrew and Jenny. Andrew's well by now, and so Andrew, take care of the dog. You're on your own. Find something to eat, and we just went to bed for a couple of days.
Yeah, I went to the Walmart, and that was as far as we got into the city.
We did not get to go around Monterey.
No.
And when I say sick, Renee was running like 104, and I was running like 103 temperature.
Yeah.
And we don't know what we had. I don't think it was strep because my throat was fine.
I thought at first it was food poisoning, but it wasn't that.
Right.
Because I don't think you'd run a fever with that.
Yeah. We were sick for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And, I got better, and
I didn't.
she didn't as quick. But the fever went down. She was just feeling really drained, real yucky. And so, we packed up, got in the car. We've spent, I think we're just there for 3 nights in Monterey, and started driving towards the border. Across the border, we were in San Antonio. I think we spent 3 days there?
3 or 4.
Yeah. Wanted Andrew to see San Antonio, and he did. We went to the Riverwalk and saw that, saw the Alamo, and check those videos out on the Alamo, and that was pretty cool. You weren't with us at the Alamo, were you? Just Andrew and I did that one. And from there, where'd we go next? Went to Galveston. Spent a couple of days in Galveston. Pretty beach area. Some great seafood there, and a great barbecue restaurant that we tried there in Galveston.
Yeah, that was good.
There's videos of that too, of course. From Galveston. Now, all right, listen.
Galveston, we took the ferry.
Right. Now, before we get out of there, we haven't really said, St. Louis Potosi, we'll go back to that. Would you want to go back there and check that out more? Or were you content with what you saw? Or
I didn't see the city because we were in the capital, right?
Right. Yeah, we were not just the state of St. Louis Potosi, but the city of St. Louis Potosi. And, I did some hikes into town and videotaped and all some. But this is when you were staying there, I guess, with Andrew.
I stayed there with him.
With him. So you really don't know. So yeah, I would like to go back so that she can see more of it. Monterey, I don't know. We were both sick there.
It was too big a city.
But I understand there's some great lakes and caves and things like that outside of the city that I would like to go back and see. All right, so we crossed into Texas, and it's a long way from Monterey to get to cross that border. That was a long drive, or it seemed like a long drive. But San Antonio, would you want to go back there, or
No.
we saw it? I mean, check
Yeah.
that box.
Yeah. It was too hot.
Yeah. Galveston.
Because it was cooler in Mexico.
Because yes, and that's the thing in San Miguel de Allende, you're at a higher elevation. It's like I think a quarter of a mile higher than Mile High City, Denver, Colorado. And so summer was nice, very comfortable. I mean, you had a little bit, I think, late May for a couple of weeks where, it was warm. You ran your ceiling fans, but you don't need air conditioning there. All right, we're in Galveston. Did you see enough of Galveston, or? Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah.
So we took the ferry, from Galveston, pretty ferry ride, and then it's pretty dry from there. You're hugging the coast, some gorgeous areas, and we ended up in Long Beach, Mississippi, and spent 2 nights there?
I think so.
Yeah, I like Long Beach.
It was nice.
It was very nice. The people
was
that
quiet.
we stayed in the Airbnb behind their home, and kind, sweet, nice people, and Long Beach, excellent food there. We ate at a couple of restaurants.
Very good.
Yeah,
And the beach was gorgeous.
Oh, the beach was gorgeous. The water was the perfect temperature. You could walk out, it seemed like a mile, but you could walk out a long distance and the water was not deep.
Part of the sound.
Right.
Yeah.
But gorgeous water. I think Jenny went swimming there in the water, but the sand was really pretty white sand. It was not that yellow coarse sand like we have in Virginia. This is that Gulf Coast sand, I guess.
Yeah.
But I'd like to go back to Long Beach.
That was nice.
Yeah, I'd like to go back to Long Beach to eat more food, the seafood.
Well, then it's close to New Orleans too.
Oh. Now we didn't go to New Orleans. We had Andrew with us. We had a car packed down with stuff, and we had Jenny with us.
We really couldn't find a nice place to stay.
Yeah, we only looking at Airbnbs, and we weren't going during Mardi Gras or anything. We were going in August, and I think we could only find like 1 or 2 Airbnbs that were available, and they were like in someone's basement or
Like a dungeon.
or either a dungeon or a dump, and the price was like through the roof.
Yeah.
And like, no, thank you. And so we left Long Beach, and from there I guess Tallahassee was next.
Yeah.
Okay, someone recently watched our video on driving through Tallahassee, and their response was, "My mother always said if you don't have anything good to say about somebody, don't say anything at all." So about Tallahassee, we're not going to say anything at all. You get my drift?
Yeah.
All right. From there, we drove on to the interior of Florida and headed on over to St. Augustine.
Augustine. Yeah.
Now, you need to go back and watch the videos of St. Augustine because that's like one of our favorite places on earth. St. Augustine, if you're visiting there, there's a shrimp restaurant called Osteen's. I think it's in our best places to eat in St. Augustine video. And Harry's is in town, great Creole or Cajun, New Orleans kind of food. And Osteen's is your southern fried shrimp, fried fish, fried chicken,
Good.
fried,
Stuff.
French fries, all the fried, and plenty of other good restaurants around there too. And we love St. Augustine. In fact, that's somewhere that we want to go back and spend, a year at least. We left St. Augustine and we headed on up the coast, stopping in Wrightsville Beach to spend the night there. My nephew's son, Cody and Annie, they live there in Wrightsville Beach, and we got to spend some time, go out to eat with them. And I think we've got a video there.
We did a neat restaurant.
Poe's Tavern.
Poe's Tavern. Yeah, that was really neat.
Yeah, if you're in Wrightsville Beach, anywhere in that area, Poe's
Busy.
Tavern.
Busy place.
Yeah. Edgar Allan Poe, pictures of him, paintings of him, poetry of him, of his, all around the restaurant. You go into the restroom, and while you're in the restroom, the speaker that's in there is recordings of Edgar Allan Poe poems. So that was kind of strange, but kind of neat, kind of eclectic. That we liked there. And we left from there, stopped on the way back to Suffolk, Virginia. We stopped somewhere in North Carolina, because if you're going to get pork barbecue, it's got to be from North Carolina. I mean, you can get it other places, but it just won't be as good as the pork barbecue in North Carolina. So, and we like the Eastern style. And so, there's a whole nother story there about Lexington Western style versus, pit cooked Eastern style. But anyway, we ate barbecue, and I forget where that was at, but
It was good.
you can look back. There's a video that tells you about that. And then from there, we drove to Suffolk. All right. That brings you up to September, when we had to get Andrew back so that he could go to school. All right. We spent, I guess, about a month there in Suffolk. Renee went on a cruise with her mom to the Bahamas. There's a video that Renee did of that you can see. And when she got back, I had been kind of planning a trip up north. And so we began driving with Jenny up north. We wanted to go into Canada, on the eastern side of Canada. And so we drove through Pennsylvania, some gorgeous areas there in Pennsylvania. Lancaster, Pennsylvania. We spent a couple of days there. And that is a pretty town. That's one of all of our videos. There are some great videos of Lancaster, Pennsylvania that not a lot of people have looked at for some reason. I don't know why, but you need to go and look at those videos of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And what did you think of Lancaster?
It's nice. It's quiet, and you see the Amish and how they live, and
Good food up there.
yeah, it's nice.
And it's affordable. I mean, the food is priced right, and
And the town is really pretty.
yeah. And from there, we started driving north and went through parts of New York, the pretty parts of New York, not the New York City, New York, but the pretty parts of New York, headed up towards Niagara Falls. And we only spent, it was maybe one night or 2 nights, I think just one night in Niagara Falls. And we were at the Holly Rankin House, which is a historic home. Look back in our videos and you'll see what I'm talking about. Gorgeous home. Nikolai Tesla once stayed there. If that gives you some ideas of, hey, you want to check this out. And we went and saw Niagara Falls. Amazing. I had never seen it before.
It was raining that night, so we went the next morning, but you could hear it from where we stayed.
Yeah, because we were right across the street from the Niagara River. And I mean, you've got the American Falls, the Bridal Falls, and then the Horseshoe Falls. And the better view, the Horseshoe Falls that you're always familiar with in pictures and all, that one's on the Canadian side. They've got a much better view. And next we stayed, where did we stay? In Newmarket.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Newmarket, Ontario. That is a neat town. I think the video we've got is probably one of the prettiest towns in Canada. You've got to check it out. Great people there, great folks. There's one of the only 2 Life is Good stores in Canada is located there. And we got some great things, some shirts there, and Jenny got a hoodie. She got a hoodie.
Yep.
And you've probably seen that in some of our videos. But we love Newmarket. I want to go back there.
That was nice. Nice part of the old town. It was really pretty.
Now, we didn't go into the modern parts. We just went into stayed in the old town area, the historic area, and nice. So we left Newmarket and we headed towards Montreal. We were only there for a night in Montreal, and we got a day and a night there. Pretty city. We didn't get to go into all of the big city and see it, just in the area that we were in, and our video of that area reflects that. Where we should have gone is Quebec City. I understand that's like one of the prettiest, most beautiful cities in all of Quebec to see is Quebec City. And so that's on a to-do list. We left Montreal and headed towards Fredericton, Fredericton, New Brunswick. And what do you think of Fredericton?
I liked Fredericton. It was, wasn't that the place that had the nice little walkover?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It was an old train trestle bridge, right?
Mhm.
And they redid it, and you walked over, and there was a nice little, it was a brewery, I think.
Right, and restaurant and all.
Yeah, and it was lots of families out there. It was just really nice, outdoor thing, and it was a great sense of community there.
And too, that crossing over that train trellis is part of where they had access to old Canadian railroad lines and had taken up the track and made them into like hiking trails and walking trails. And so you could do it was a very health conscious area. You could do a lot of picnics, a lot of hiking, a lot of running on that what used to be the old train track.
And the city was gorgeous.
Gorgeous
The
city.
old homes and
Huge.
just
Big old
beautiful,
homes.
beautiful area.
Yeah, we spent I think 4 days in Fredericton, 4 or 5 days, and
It was nice.
loved it. Loved it. That's
Very nice.
somewhere when we talk about places in Canada that we'd like to go back to. Fredericton is at the top of our list. We liked the area. So from Fredericton, we headed on over to Charlottetown. Where did we stay in Charlottetown?
It was like little cabins, and we stayed in
Oh
the
yeah,
hotel part of
yeah. You got to check that out. Got to check that out on that video. Charlottetown, I liked it. That was a nice area. From there, we went over to Cape Breton Island
via the ferry.
via the ferry, and from there down to Halifax. And Halifax, that's when we went to the Titanic museum that's there. Well, it's a maritime museum, and part of it tells about the Titanic, because when the Titanic sunk, a lot of the bodies were brought back to Halifax and are buried there, and we showed that in a video, the cemetery where a lot of them are buried at. All right, and from there, I think that's when we headed. From there, we left. Oh, we went down to Peggy'S Cove. Peggy's Cove is one of the most photographed, beautiful places in really in the world, I think.
It's one of the most photographed lighthouses.
Right? Yeah. Gorgeous area. And from Peggy's Cove, and of course that was just a day trip, and we went back to Halifax. And from there we headed back into, I think, into New Brunswick again. And we were in St. John. Spent a night or two in St. John, and we liked St. John, beautiful city. From there, we headed into Maine. I think this is when we were coming back into New England, and Maine. We went to Bangor, Maine. We went to Bar Harbor, Maine. We have some great videos of our time
We
there.
tried to find a place to stay in Bar Harbor, but it was all booked.
All booked and very
Yeah.
expensive,
Yeah.
or as
so
my
we
brother
stayed
would say,
in-
very spendy.
We stayed in Bangor, Maine,
Right.
and we saw Stephen King's home.
We saw Stephen King's home. He might have been there because his car was there.
out there.
Yeah, his Mercedes was out there, and
Yeah.
that would have been really cool. But anyway, saw the home. We've got a video that shows that if you haven't seen it yet. And that was in Bangor was a neat town. Bangor was a very nice town, very walkable, a lot of nice restaurants. And from there, I think that's where we left there and headed towards Vermont. Crossed through New Hampshire.
We kept going back and forth.
Well, New Hampshire and Vermont, they kind of are both side by side, and to go different places, you're kind of working your way across. Okay, so we went into Vermont, went to Montpelier, went to Middlebury, went to Woodstock, and we have separate videos on all of those. And Vermont is just a gorgeous, gorgeous state. Yeah, I'd like to live there for summer and fall, and then
Not
summer and
winter.
fall the next year.
Not winter.
Yeah, that way I can make up my 4 seasons with summer and fall twice. But because we're not cold weather people, but Vermont is gorgeous, and Woodstock especially gorgeous. Then we went into New Hampshire, and New Hampshire, another gorgeous, gorgeous state. In fact, Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont are like the 3 safest states in the United States. And we took the train ride, old-timey train ride there. I think like from the 1920s train or something. And Jenny, that was her first and only train ride that I know of. Have you had any train rides we didn't know about?
She had her own ticket.
Had her own ticket. And that was in North Conway, New Hampshire. And that was really nice. And while we were in New Hampshire, we went to a maple syrup farm. They did cheeses and maple syrup, and that was neat and delicious. We brought a bunch back with us from that for Christmas holidays. And we went to Exeter, New Hampshire, one of the most beautiful cities in New Hampshire. We went to, was it Peterborough, New Hampshire, and stayed at the Jack Daniels Inn and checked that video out. From New Hampshire, we went to Salem, Massachusetts, just for a visit, and you need to see that video. Yeah. From there, we went to visiting Providence, Rhode Island. Neat town. Providence, Rhode Island is really, really neat. I like that. My uncle was from Rhode Island, and I'd never been there before. Smallest state in the USA, and we'd never been, but we have now. After that, we headed towards Connecticut. Gorgeous town. But we were staying in Clinton. We were staying right across the street from the water, back in a neighborhood.
Nice old
Oh
cabin.
my gracious.
It was nice.
The cottage, I would gladly just let me live right there. That was fine.
That was nice.
There again, except for the wintertime. But gorgeous area. If you've not seen that video, you need to go back and watch the videos of Connecticut. Loved it. All right, we're needing to get back to Virginia for Thanksgiving. We went through Boyerton, Pennsylvania, and spent, I think, one night there, and went to the Boyerton Antique Car Museum. Oh my gracious.
Very nice.
Go back and look at that video. That is one of the most impressive car museums that I've ever seen in my life. Really neat. Historical, carriage works, cars.
A diner in there.
An old diner inside their building. An old Sunoco, I think it's Sunoco, gas station inside their museum. You need to see that. All right, from there, where did we head? To Dover, Delaware. Yeah. Dover, Delaware, nice, pretty area. We stayed in a gorgeous Airbnb there. Take a look at that one if you've not already done so.
Very nice.
Very impressive, nice home. That was one, I'm sorry we were there such a short time. That's one that you need a large family and go back and stay that Airbnb. From Dover, Delaware, we crossed over the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel, and there's a video that tells all about what the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel is all about, into Virginia. And that was 2022, and we did a lot of traveling, put a lot of miles on that Subaru, and had a great year. Top place for Mexico that you enjoyed the most for 2022?
San Miguel.
Except for the broken ankle.
Yeah. Yep.
San Miguel de Allende. They say San Miguel is a magical city, and that once you ever go there, that it'll always call to you. You'll always want to go back. That was that way for us. Gorgeous city. Got to go back.
And Valley Dorado.
I know you can only pick one.
Oh well, I like that one too.
All right. How about Canada? Top place in Canada that you'd want to go back to?
I liked Newmarket and Fredericton.
Okay. If we're going to be allowed to pick two, I'll say the same thing because I also liked Newmarket and Fredericton. In New England, what would be your top pick?
I like Clinton, Connecticut.
Clinton, Connecticut.
And Woodstock, Vermont.
Clinton, Connecticut, okay for a place to visit. Woodstock, Vermont, somewhere for me for like long-term stay for somewhere for 6 months to a year.
All the snow.
Except for that, I said 6 months. I didn't say that 6 months. All right, friends, thank you so much for reminiscing with us, looking back at 2022 and our travels. And I hope it gives you some ideas as you go back and look at those videos. And maybe you'll see some places that you would like to visit as well, whether it's in New England, whether it's in Canada, in the south part of the United States, southeast, through Texas, or in Mexico. We saw a lot in 2022. And in an upcoming video, you'll find out we've seen a lot in 2023 and a lot more to see in 2023. Hit the like button. Please share the video. Watch our next video. That helps the metrics, helps somehow or another with our channel, and we appreciate that. Leave comments. We love to hear from you and be able to respond back to you. And if you'd like to sponsor our channel, get in touch with me. I'll have my email in there for you to do so. Thank you.